Welcome to the Wealthfinity channel. Here, we share valuable tips and strategies for achieving financial freedom and building wealth for the long term. In this video, we dive into the world of why is the American middle class shrinking, discussing the key concepts and tools you'll need to succeed. Whether you're just starting out on your financial journey or looking to take your wealth building efforts to the next level, this video is packed with valuable information that can help you reach your goals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The term middle class is often used to describe a certain segment of the population, but there is no clear definition of what constitutes as middle class. Some experts define it based on income, others based on lifestyle or education level. However, when it comes to income, the middle class is often considered to be those who earn between 2/3 and double the median household income. In the post-World War II era, the middle class in the U.S. experienced a period of economic prosperity. Wages were rising, and the cost of living was relatively low, allowing for a comfortable standard of living for the average American. However, in the 1970s, this began to change as inflation and unemployment rates increased. In the 1980s and 1990s, economic policies favored the wealthy, leading to a widening income gap between the rich and the middle class. The median household income for the middle class remained relatively stagnant, while the top 1% saw significant increases in their wealth. In the early 2000s, the middle class saw some improvement, with median household income increasing slightly. However, the Great Recession of 2008 had a devastating effect on the middle class, with many losing their jobs and homes. Since then, the economy has recovered, but the income gap has continued to widen, with the top 1% seeing the greatest increases in wealth. Recent data shows that the middle class is still struggling to regain the economic footing it had prior to the recession. In 2019, the median household income for the middle class was $61,937, which is only slightly higher than it was in 2000. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in the United States in 2020 was $68,703. Using this as a benchmark, we can estimate that the average middle-class income in the United States falls between $45,869 and $137,406. When we look at the average middle-class income over time, we see a few key trends. One of the most notable is that the average middle-class income has generally been on the rise. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the average middle-class income was $61,858 in 1970, and it has risen to $78,442 in 2020. This represents an increase of about 27% over the past 50 years. However, it's worth noting that the definition of middle class can vary depending on the region of the country. For example, the cost of living in New York City is significantly higher than in a small rural town, so a middle-class income in NYC would likely be higher than in the rural town. Additionally, the middle class can be further divided into lower middle class and upper middle class, with the former earning less and the latter earning more than the median income. Another important trend to note is the growing income inequality in the United States. While the average middle-class income has been rising, the gap between the highest and lowest incomes has been growing. According to data from the Economic Policy Institute, the top 1% of households by income earned 21.2 times as much as the bottom 99% in 2019. This is a significant increase from 1980, when the top 1% earned 11.2 times as much as the bottom 99%. Additionally, it's also important to note that income is not the only factor that determines one's class status. Factors such as education, occupation, and lifestyle also play a role. For example, a high-income earner with a low level of education may not be considered middle class, while a lower-income earner with a high level of education may be considered middle class. While the definition of middle class may vary, it's clear that the middle class constitutes a significant portion of the population in the United States. According to a Pew Research Center study, around 50% of American adults self-identify as middle class. Furthermore, it's also important to note that the middle class in the United States has been facing financial pressures in recent years. A study by the Economic Policy Institute found that the middle class's share of the nation's income has been declining since the 1970s, and the gap between the rich and the middle class has been growing. The data on the average middle-class income in the United States tells us that while the economy has generally been growing, there are still significant challenges facing the middle class. Income inequality is a major concern, and many middle-class families are struggling to keep up with the rising cost of living. This highlights the need for policies that support the middle class and address these economic challenges. Wealthfinity channel aims to provide readers with the latest information and insight on personal finance, investment, and wealth building. The goal is to empower readers to make better financial decisions and achieve financial freedom. In conclusion, the evolution of middle-class income in the United States has been a complex and dynamic process, shaped by a variety of factors such as economic growth, technological change, and government policies. While the middle class has historically been a vital driver of economic prosperity and social mobility, recent trends suggest that it is facing significant challenges, including stagnant wages, rising inequality, and declining economic security. However, with the right policies and investments, we can work towards rebuilding a strong and thriving middle class that benefits all Americans. It is important to continue monitoring and analyzing the trends in middle-class income in order to understand the challenges and opportunities facing this critical segment of our society.